Greetings gamers, welcome to part number 53 of my Let's Play Fire Emblem 4 Genealogy of the Holy War, and in today's episode I am hoping that there is a little bit of a different outcome concerning Leaf here and his instantly dying to Bomba, Fatla, and Iryu. So he has exactly the amount of HP that they're doing. Well, no, because he's being taken, being taken down by, I think they have the same magic, right? Oh no, Bomba has higher magic, so if Bomba doesn't attack him, he's fine. What I might need to do, you know what? I actually have a solution to this, and that is just healing up Leaf. Alright, so this time it should be a little bit better. A little bit better. In the sense that I have healed up Leaf. I don't think he can die now. As long as only 2 can hit him. And I'm pretty sure only 2 can. The problem is dealing with him on the next phase is going to be kind of a bit rough. But that is going to be a job for future Gamerman. Unfortunately, present Gamerman is a little bit stuck otherwise. So healing, I think these buffoons, the Ovo is running away. I'm not a big fan of that. I am going to have to KO Ovo pretty much immediately. Taste the Howling Gale, traitor! Alright, so they decided to go after the units that can't attack back. This is actually fantastic. Doomed you are. Goodbye. It would be nice if I was able to get this KO on Leaf. I don't know that it's going to be possible, though. 56. With the Horse Slayer, I might be able to do it. Oh my gosh, are you kidding, Finn? Am I doubling, though? I might double. No, I did not. That is going to be a reset. Yet again, unfortunately. Alright, Fatla should be an easy KO for Ares. And she was. Very nice. Taste the wrath of thunder, rebel! As long as you deal with at least one of them, you don't have to worry about the absolute horror that is dealing with the triangle attack on enemies. Bomba, Fatla, is this the end? Yes, this time it is the end. You're not teleporting away. Another magic level on you? Alright. Taste raging flames, brigand! And the light brand here is in weapon triangle advantage, which is nice. Though I don't think Dermot would have... No. He would have KO'd with a double crit. But that's exactly what he would have needed, was a double crit. Alright, Faval is closing in. I will dance for these 3 yahoos. I really don't know who it is I want to give the power ring to. I'm seriously considering Lester because he makes really good use or care with it. So maybe I'll send him that way. Ooh, he needs to be healed though. And she would be able to reach. Alright, cool. Lester is now going to be healed up, which is nice. Just in case he comes into some other combat, I would like him to be at relatively full HP, so that he's prepared over yonder. He is going to be kind of a bit far away from the rest of my units. And then Ares can finish off you. Bonba. Goodbye.
What a shame, Fatla, Ariu.
HP 2, defense 1. Not great. So Ishtar is definitely going to have to get dealt with over the next couple of turns. I have to be careful with Lester. I don't want him too far ahead because then she'll go north, and then I'm not getting the village. Shannon can keep on running. He is quite the slow fiend, however. There's a lot of people who would like to say that units like Shannon and Larse and Ulster are better than they really are. The grand scheme of things is that they're 6-move units. There's really nothing that they can contribute to the average battle, unfortunately. Silver Lance. So I'm only doing 24 damage here. And if I use the Wind Sword, I'm not doing that much damage regardless. So what I think I need to do, Horse Slayer is going to be 56. So 56, that's going to be 42? I'm still going to need a crit from Leaf. I actually think it's just for the better I don't worry about that dude with Leaf, because the issue is that I'm not KOing him without a couple of crits. And he's going to get taken out anyhow, so it doesn't really matter. Alright. Nana, you can go ahead and sit right next to Leaf. Mend him up even. A little bit of healing experience points for her. Cannot wait until they are paired. That's going to be very useful for Nana. Well, Nana and Leaf. Especially because they're both actually pretty good in the arena with stuff like Brave Swords and so on and so forth. Being a sword user in this game is just an insane boon. Alright, so I don't have to worry about her going north, which is very nice. What I do have to worry about is this slew of units here. So I think I'm going to go ahead and strike Ovo with Arthur. Yeah, so Arthur is not going to KO here, which is, it's not great, but it's fine. He is at level 17, so he's going to promote relatively soon. Time to talk.
Hang on, Vival. What do you think you're doing? Don't tell me you're actually let Bloom buy out your bow arm.
Patty, wait, why are you with the rebels?
To protect the people, of course. We've come this far working together, and I know we're going to stop Bloom for good. I don't get it. Did you just go and forget everything? that if it wasn't for the Empire's cruelty, none of the kids would be orphans. But no, here you are, kissing up to the very same man who ruined all of our friends' lives. What the heck were you thinking, Faval?
You're absolutely right. I'm so sorry, Patty. I guess I just wasn't thinking at all.
Any scumbag can apologize till they're blue in the face. If you're really sorry, then get over here, come help us, fight for peace.
All right, Patty, I'm with you. You've certainly come a long way lately.
I guess I have.
All right, so I get a new unit, Faval. He is a level 9 archer, and his mother is Bridget, and his father is Dew. Now, of course his mother is Bridget. He comes with the UFEL. So, in my humble opinion, and I'm not even saying this to be mean or rude or, just say that this character is no good, I think Faval is the worst positioned and worst archer in this game. I think even his mother Bridget is better than him because she at least comes at a point where she is relatively viable concerning combat and so on and so forth, whereas Faval is literally just an archer who's going to turn into a sniper. He's not going to be a bow knight, which is very unfortunate for him. It would be very nice if you got a second bow knight in the second generation and Faval was him. If he was a bow knight, he would be exceptionally amazing. But unfortunately, he is just not. He does have some decent growth rates because Dew and Bridget are his parents, but they're not fantastic. His bases are okay, and UFEL does help his physical damage as well as his speed up at least a decent amount, though the UFEL does weigh 13, so he's actually got a 14 attack speed right now. Pretty much a minus overall. But it's whatever. You can't really do anything about that. So Faval has base HP of 36, 115% HP growth. He has a base strength of 12, 55% strength growth, 1 magic, 20% magic growth, 17 skill, 55% skill growth, 17 speed, 50% speed growth, 18 luck, 105% luck growth, 11 defense, 50% defense growth, and 0 resistance, 12% resistance growth. So you can probably see from his growth rates why he's a little bit of an issue. I keep stressing that what you really want, especially for the late game of Genealogy, is resistance. He has none. He will never have any. This is not a good functional unit against pretty much any of the strong or scary Holy Blood weapon users in this game. He comes with Euler Holy Blood. A perfect example is literally right here. The very first Holy Blood user he can fight one-shots him so hard that he could literally have almost 20 resistance right now and he would still get one shot. The guy is not good, in my humble opinion. In fact, typically what I do with him is I just send him back home to the arena because I find him to be egregious. There's a lot of people who like this unit, and I'm not going to say he's bad in overall combat and usefulness. It's just that because he's an archer in a game where you do not need nor want archers, he's just not great. And this is exacerbated by the other facts of this particular unit, which is that he's never going to have good movement in the generation that needs more movement than the first. He's never going to be really a combatively great unit regardless, because the fact of the matter is that he has no capacity to deal with enemy phase. He can't canto, he can't re-equip weapons. Granted, you pretty much only want the UFEL on him. The killer bow is a good option because it does have much more hit. I sort of wish that the UFEL had like 100 plus hit, because then it would give it a good niche besides just being insanely strong, because his hit's not even good. He only has 44 hit against Ishtar, and let me tell you, this is the weakest iteration of Ishtar, let alone the fact that she is the weakest Holy Blood user that he's going to fight. for the rest of this game. He's just not good at his singular job that you would expect him to be good at. He has a talk with Seliph, 6 movement, 7,234 funds, 1 arena level, pursuit, so at least he can double attack. He gets this from, I believe his mother had this. Oh no, it's a class skill. Never mind. Bargain, he gets from Do. This means that he can use this weapon with impunity. He can do whatever he wants. He can always attack with Ufel. At the very least, that is good. I just wouldn't necessarily say he is good in general by himself. I guess not Dermot. I'm just gonna finish you off with Ares. So even Ares right now, at the health he's at, impossible. Goodbye, Ovo. The health he's at makes it so that he cannot be an effective unit against Ishtar. Alright. So, Arthur is the only combative unit I have here that is good against Ishtar. And there's just a chance that this is not going to turn out well. If it doesn't turn out well, I might have to wait another turn to deal with her. But I'm just going to go for it. But I'm just going to go for it. First and foremost, I would like to actually turn on animations, because this is basically a major boss battle.
I wish I didn't have to do this, but you shall go no further.
Oh, Arthur just said, "You're gone."
Lord Julius.
Yeah, so the unfortunate thing about Arthur, I'll get to that in a moment.
Ishtar, return with me to Valhalla. You've no business dying in a place like this. Oh, Lord Julius, but why are you?
Come, Ishtar, I need you.
Yes, my lord, anything you wish.
Unfortunately, that is not the last we shall see of the scary Ishtar. Arthur the Wonderful Mage, even if he were to promote or be able to promote right now, he cannot possibly go and promote. Because after I finish off Connaught, I need him to go down and visit this particular village, which is way, and I mean way out of the realms of the possibility of him doing pretty much anything else for the rest of this chapter. The rest of my units can just get prepared for the next couple of turns. Leaf and Nana no longer need to stick around. This particular castle. And that is everybody relevant. Alright, Knoth, Meath phase is just one more unit, and I'm going to be KOing him hopefully this turn with Lester. Letting Lester get the power ring should be a pretty cool thing. I don't think he's necessarily like the greatest user of it, but anybody with a brave weapon is going to be a good user of a power ring, just in general. And that is a crit. Perfect, perfect.
Oh, thank you so much. I've heard all the stories about your army, and I've been praying that you'd come someday. Lord Seliph is our beacon of hope. Here, take this power ring. It's not much, but it's all we have to show our gratitude.
1,500 gold is kind of like the minimal of this issue. What is really good is him having the Brave bow and the power ring and speed ring. I think those are going to potentially stay on his inventory. And these two, I actually think I'm going to move for them. And I can warp you back home. So, at least for the moment, I'm going to go ahead and use Faval in the arena, and you'll get to see that. But, unfortunately, he's not going to be a member of the foot soldiers, the combat force, who are fighting in the field. Alright, Arthur. I think it is time for you to continue your onslaught. I wonder if he has crit on his weapon yet. Yeah, Forseti is only 5 KOs away. Dance for you two. Might not end up yielding a whole lot to have dance for them too, but I think it's a good use anyhow. Alright, so these buffoons here all have ranged tomes, so I kind of want to stay out of their range for the time being. At least for a moment. Ares needs to be healed up, so that's what I'll do. Perfect. And now I can move Nana back and keep her with Leaf. I don't think she's going to be able to pair with him at this moment, but it's not that big a deal. They'll be paired soon enough. In fact, most of my units already have or are close to the pairs. At least I hope. Yeah, Fee and Arthur are paired, which is really nice, because one of the things about Fee is that because she is a flyer and you want her to move and do those specific side objectives that she is decent to do, you kind of want her to just not be pairing with somebody as slow as Arthur. So now that she doesn't have to worry about that anymore, it's actually pretty fantastic. Just have to be careful about where I can move her. Unfortunately, so she can move here. I guess that's fine. What I could do is then move you. Alright, is this going to be an adept? And it was not. So one thing about Arthur is Arthur, I don't believe, gets pursuit even after promotion, which is kind of an insane idea. I don't think Mage Knights get that as a class skill. So he's going to eventually need to abscond a certain item. And you are gone. And that item is, of course, the pursuit ring. Alright, so I should be able to take out these two relatively easily. And then I have to deal with the wonderful long-range tomes, that is. Of course, Bloom has a long-range tome as well. I'm not so worried about Bloom because once the other three are done, it's going to be relatively not that difficult to deal with him. And another one bites the dust. I actually really like this whole chapter's design as well, just because of how the enemies come at you, what you're confronted with, how you have to deal with the whole of the Connaught army coming after, particularly, very importantly, Leaf and friends. Yeah, I didn't bother calculating, but Johan could have just seriously messed that up had he not been able to KO there. If the enemy were to have procced Pavis there, it would have been kind of a little bit devastating considering that my units need to get moved out as fast as possible. I don't know that any of these guys need healing. Seliph could kind of use a little bit of it. Nobody else really needs it. In that case, I'm going to go ahead and heal up Seliph. So what's funny, though a lot of people will say that like the holy weapons are so overpowered in this game, this Brave Sword is more powerful than any of the holy weapons in this game. And Bloom would stand no chance against him, even if he had the Mjolnir. It would just be kind of like a hilarity. I also kind of want to send Lana back to the home castle. It seems a little bit silly, but there's actually a legitimate reason why I'm going to be doing this. Alright. Perfect, I can attack one of you with the Brave Sword. Yep, Leaf only needs one more KO to get to promotion. And gone you are, unfortunately. Very nice. And the final KO over here can go to Arthur. Hopefully he does actually KO though. And he did. Very nice. Level 19. Yeah, the only thing that can stop Seliph reasonably is a Pavis proc from any of these units. It's actually kind of funny because Pavis is potentially one of the strongest skills in this game just because of how mighty it can be to proc against even like holy weapons. Even holy weapons can't stand up to the might of Pavis. You wouldn't think something as simple as that would be the case, but it is just the case. Fight in the arena, and of course I'm going to use nothing but the UFEL. So in this particular chapter, I'm a big fan of the way that the design works, considering that you are basically surrounded at first in a way. You have your lesser forces to the north, who you can reinforce because there is a road that leads to Leonster from Ulster. But in my humble opinion, it's just better to go the right route because you have to deal with Muhammad's crew, as well as Bomba, Fatla, and Ariu, so on and so forth. I am so glad that I was able to convince them to go a different direction because I think had Leaf and friends had to deal with them constantly, I think they would have just been doomed pretty much from the start because of how powerful those three can be tag teaming your units. Especially if they do get the triangle attack off. So apparently this is something that they're always capable of doing. Even when they first appear in the previous chapter, Bombafatla and Iryu can absolutely do the triangle attack. Level 10. So even a unit like Larse, Ulster, Faval, these units are actually still worth training in the arena, especially every chapter, because of the defense of your castles. There are still uses for them. It's just like in the previous generation, in the last chapter, how I was capable of using the whole of my army for at least a time to make sure that my forces at the home castle were pretty well off, and that the home castle wasn't just going to be taken. Plus, there were a lot of villages that could have been absconded, and I did exactly that. Yeah, I don't think you were too much of a threat, Gizmount. Unfortunately, Faval might not be a great unit in my humble opinion. I just don't care for him myself. He is still very good combatively on one-on-one fights. He's like Larse, Ulster, and Shannon. I wouldn't say he's the best of those. I think Shannon is the obvious pick for the best of all of these four. And the problem with that is Shannon joins early last chapter, and I'm just now getting Faval. Faval is one of the last recruits you have in this gen. Alright, so with that being said, I guess Patty could still be moved. Just have to make sure that she's not in the range of Bloom. Wasn't likely that she would be, because, that's very far away, but still. And the Connaught phase. What in the blazes is happening out there? You rebel scum, you'll have no mercy from me. Yeah, attacking Johan is kind of very understandable, because he's likely going to do more damage to Johan than he would pretty much anyone else. That is the one major failing of Johan in the second generation, if he has the Brave Axe. Because he actually has two major failings, like he doesn't have Pursuit, as well as the fact that his resistance is so poor. But when he has the Brave Axe with Crit, he doesn't really care about not having Pursuit, but his resistance is something that you cannot fix in this gen. Unfortunately, it is time for me to go. And I would love for this chapter to just keep on going on. But the fact of the matter is, I have things to do. You probably have things to do. And the next episode will cover the rest. I want to thank you for joining me. If you like my content, please upvote and follow, or like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. Hopefully, Bloom won't continue procking Pavis. And while you're at it, have a great and glorious day gaming.